I'm going to tell you a secret, and I want you to listen really carefully when I tell you this, because it's important. Are you ready? No one cares. Yes. I found the secret to life. No one cares about what you do, about what happens, about the goals you achieve, about the landmarks that you have. Nobody cares. Easy to think, but hard to practice, like anything worth doing in life. Because we want people to care. We want to be taken care of. We want to care about other people. We want to be involved. We want to be in it. But the truth is, nobody cares. I'm going to tell you this. Right? I want to give you a story today. So last night, I did a 3-point contest. Right? And my friend's like, oh, I'll do it if you do it. And I wanted him to do it. I was like, okay, come on, let's go. Let's do it. And the whole time we're there, I'm hyped. I'm getting hyped. I'm like, oh, I got to lock in. This is going to be a great time. I was warming up. I was missing, whatever. I don't care. I wasn't playing a lot of basketball recently, so I knew I wasn't going to be good. And he was still like, oh, I don't know, man, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, come on, I'm signing up. You're signing up. And so we sign up. He's still a little uncertain. And one of my other friends goes first. We're cheering him on. He does well. He gets 11 shots in. He gets 11 shots in out of 20. So that's really good. My next friend goes up, same thing, gets 11 shots. We're like, let's go, Cheyenne, let's go. And then I'm up, right, like right after. And I was a little surprised. And so I go up, whatever. I do my thing. I'm shooting. And I'll tell you what I get at the end. A little cliffhanger, fun. And then he goes up. Right? And he's, a little rough at the beginning, and then he gets to the middle, and he's like bucket after bucket after bucket, and he gets 8 in. And I'm like, let's go, Josh, let's go. And he was so worried about the perception of what other people would think that he almost didn't even do the 3-point contest to begin with. Now, me, I wasn't worried too much about perception. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Like, it's just going to be a bunch of dudes there anyways. Like, it's not like who cares? And I got 1 basket in. I got 1 basket in out of 20 shots. And was I upset afterwards? Was I embarrassed? No. I didn't care. I had a fun time. My friend was the ref. He was clowning me the whole time. We were just shooting it up. I was just literally chucking it up. Luckily got 1 in at the beginning. And then I didn't care. And, people were trying to make me care. People try to make you care because they care. They would have cared. They would have been embarrassed if they were in your position. They're like, oh, man, that's so embarrassing. You got only 1 point. Blah, blah. They try to make you feel that way. And why is my screen frozen? All right, there we go. They try to make you feel that way. And it's so easy to want to do that because you want to fit in. You want to express the reaction they want you to express. And so when they were saying that, even in my head, I was just like, should I care? Like, should I be embarrassed? Why am I not embarrassed? And I started to feel like that feeling of embarrassment coming in. But I was like, wait, this isn't what I would have felt. This isn't what I initially felt. This isn't how my brain's wired. This is how they're trying to wire my brain. And I've noticed, like, I had another thought similarly to this, right? Because I'm so goal-oriented and goal-focused. And I thought, what would a year look like if I made no goals? And I felt that would gave me anxiety, right? Goals themselves give you anxiety. You have a deadline, and you have to get it done by this deadline. And that can be anxiety-inducing because you have to get work done in a certain period, and it could be pressured. There could be things that go wrong. There could be obstacles that come in the way. You can get sick. A lot of things happen to increase the anxiety that already exists from just doing the work. But not doing anything for a year, that also gave me some anxiety because I was like, what would I do? Why would I do that for a year? Just be in the breeze? Just go with the flow? Just exist? Existing was not good enough for me. I wanted to live. I want to achieve goals. But back to the mindset of no one cares, the goals you achieve, are they really worth it? They have to be worth it to you because it's not worth it to anybody else. They may congratulate you because it's deemed in society as something outstanding because you put in a lot of work and you achieved whatever you were chasing. But at the end of the day, no one cares. Every time you interact with someone, you're proving to them who you are. Each time is a clean slate. You've lived with yourself for however long you've existed and think you're the most important person in the world. But you're not. No one knows you like you know you. No one will care about the things you do like you do. So do you, and find that version of yourself that you like. Every other method is irrelevant. I wrote that because, I don't know, maybe some of the goals or some of the things that I try to chase or some of the spur of the moment, oh, that would be cool if I did that idea, is it would be cool because it could be something I could tell someone that I did or something that I could maybe flex, like a resume type of goal rather than a passion type of goal. And I think the resume type of goals have some merit in societal success, status. But I think at the end of the day, if there's no passion behind it, it can feel empty. And you can feel bitter. And I think there's this issue with self-importance as well. And I wrote this kind of, mushy type of, I'm not going to say mushy, but kind of like, theoretical kind of, whatever. I'm just going to say it. We feel self-important for control. We want to grip on the, let me redo that. We feel self-importance for control. We want to grip on some roots of a tree and think we can steer the earth through space, when really our effect is minimal, if at all impactful. Me making goals is me trying to find some control. Me trying to grip the roots of life and steer it in a certain way, in a certain direction. And I could finally, if I achieve this thing, I had control of that, right? I had control. If I work out in the gym, I get some muscle. I have control of that. If I post every week on a podcast, I'm eventually going to get better. I'm eventually going to get better at talking. I'm going to get guests, and I have control of that. I have success. I have control of that. And maybe for a period of time, we do have control. But I don't think we're the ultimate ones in control. Now, not to get religious, I'm not a big religious person to begin with. I did religion, I did Christianity. And I think there's a lot of value in religion and believing in something. I just think that for me personally, it can be hard to believe some of the stories that go along with the religions that exist. I do believe there's something else, but I don't think it's necessarily God or Jesus or some other figure that people worship. But that back to the line of thinking of self-importance, of control, of no one cares. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. Everybody's trying to figure it out. And what is it? Well, not just life, but why are we here? What are we doing? What's going on? And maybe there's just not an answer to that. Maybe we want to feel so self-important to think that there's an answer for us being here, rather than just two human beings reproduced and now you exist in the world. It's because we have this further developed mind that allows us to go into these spaces that maybe other animals don't, and makes us think maybe we're meant to be more than who we are. Maybe we're just meant to be who we are. We're just meant to be what is. And not to get all hippie on you, but I feel like that's kind of peaceful in a way. And also scary, because having an answer would be awesome. I like having answers. I liked math, find an answer. 2 + 2, 4. You get an answer, there's an outcome. There's no debating it. That's the outcome. But the world is not 2 + 2 is 4. And we like to say math and physics and all this stuff is so much of the world. But at a higher level, it's really not. Sure, it makes up the world. Sure, we can explain a lot of things that happen with the world. Friction, why we're not flying out into outer space. But math does not explain why we're here. The deeper reasons. The ones we want to know. And so we try to then be keeping our bubbles, right? And I think it sometimes can be so hard when you're in your little bubble. I just had midterms. Past couple of weeks, we had some midterms. And I was stressed the whole time, right? Doing the midterms, stressed. I wanted to get a good grade. And that's always been my mentality. But as I think further, as I get older, there's always still a piece of my mind being like, yeah, this matters, sort of. Like, it's important to care about something and to do well in something. I think people that give up on everything aren't really living. I think for you to live, you need to put some skin in the game, in a sense. Put some work in and risk failing, but also potentially succeeding. But at the same time, like, why do we put so much power in an outcome that potentially is not in our control? The test is what it is. We can study, we can work hard for it, but at the end of the day, I don't have all the questions, and I can't just memorize all the answers. And so I worry so much, and I'm wasting all this energy of worrying, and I don't know how to get rid of that. How do you get rid of caring so much? Like, in certain scenarios, 3-point contest, I don't care. But once you've put skin in the game, once you put hours in, you care. And it's a habitual habit. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I also just think that it's unnecessary to worry as much as I do about those things. Because in the grand scheme of things, I know it's irrelevant. But right now, in the micro, it seems so important. And maybe it's also just the culture of people you're around, too. Everybody else is caring about the grades, so I should be caring about the grades. And then they start, roasting, oh, why aren't you studying, Jason? Oh, you slacking, all this stuff. I mean, that's not me, but that would have happened if I didn't do it. If I didn't study, if I didn't work hard, like, they'll commend you. Oh, okay, you were grinding. Good job, Jason. You were in the library studying. You're commended for that, rewarded for that verbally, and so you do it. But who are you driving for? Is it for those other people so that you can fit in? So that they don't insult you for getting a bad grade, or insult you for not doing well in a certain thing, like the 3-point contest? Or are you driving for yourself? And as long as you don't let yourself down, then why does it matter what other people are saying about you? It's really hard to practice. But it seems like that should be the method of thinking that everybody has. And yet it's not. And I'm really struggling to figure out why that's the case. Why are we so attached? Why do we need that approval so much? I feel it. I have it. We all have it. And I'm really trying to balance that out because I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. So that's what I wanted to start off this podcast with is that challenge specifically. No one cares. And I need to start applying this more, especially this month. It's March. I'm going to really focus on this methodology. No one cares. And how I'm going to practice this specifically is now that I've, kind of established myself here, I'm not getting sick like every other week like I was first semester. I'm getting in a good groove, good workout. Everything's decent. Midterms are starting to finally come to a close. I only got one more next week. I need to really try to practice this more in social aspects. Go up to more people that I don't know. I've kind of trapped myself in this bubble of friendship. And sure, it's been great. It's been fun. But I think the whole point in college is to not do that. High school is for that. Because you just need to survive in high school. Well, some people thought. I had a good time. But high school, you didn't have as many people access to. Here, there's thousands and thousands of people. Variety of different ages. Professors who have done incredible things. And I don't want to limit myself because I have a mentality from high school that is comfortable and that I've been able to then find here too. I don't want to limit myself just because that's habitual, right? I'm trying to recognize the habits that I can change to grow, right? The habits that I have that, they're working, they did a good job and they served their purpose, but now it's time to upgrade, right? And so that's the thing I want to practice this semester, for the rest of the semester, and probably for the rest of the year, and continually until I get better at it. Just going up to people, talking to them. And if it's a bad interaction, who cares? If it's a good interaction, awesome. That means you found a new friend, or you found a new friendly face. But I want to get rid of that. Oh, what if they... Or, what will they think of me if I... Or, no, I can't go up to them. They got their earbuds in. I want to get rid of that. Who cares? I want to be able to just go up to who I think will be interesting to talk to. Or who I want to talk to and just have a conversation. And not have it be this whole, why are you talking to me type of thing. If that ends up happening, it ends up happening. But I think 90% of the time it's going to be a positive interaction. And I think I get trapped, in a sense, technically, I don't feel trapped, but I think it can be so easy, maybe. Easy. There's more resistance when you have a group of friends. Because then you can just text them. Oh, who's going out to eat? I'm going to go eat. Who wants to go to the dining hall? And you can just do that. You can just text them. Whereas, if you have nobody, you have to. You have to go to people. And I'm not saying I want to leave my friends. I'll hang out with them. But I need to make this more of a goal of mine this year and for this semester. Because I want to practice getting better at talking to people. I want to practice talking to different people, like older people. I'm good at talking to people that are younger than me. I did camp counseling. I was a captain. I was able to talk to people younger than me. But I want to get better at talking to people that are older than me. And being able to hold a conversation with an adult and learn perspective, because I want to learn from them. Kids our age, they're doing things, right? But they haven't done a lot of things, if that makes sense. I want to talk to someone who's experienced a lot of things and learn from them. I don't know why this has come up recently, but this is what's been going on in my head. And it's something I'm going to continue working on. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, a little bit of a short one. This week. I could talk for another 10 minutes, but I really don't have anything else to say. I think what I said was value, or hopefully of some value. And I got out what I wanted to say. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. I'm going to continue to try to get better at talking. And just continue to try to be here every week. Show up every week. For the most part, that's probably going to be me doing it solo. I wanted to get guests, but that just adds a whole another level of difficulty. And I want this to be fun. I want this to be pretty much like a journal in a sense. When I have something I'm dealing with this week or during the week, write it down, have an idea, and I just want to discuss and talk about it and allow myself, or in a way, just kind of force myself to talk about it and think through what I'm doing. And if there's an audience for that, great. If there's not, I'm just here to do it for me. And if I end up getting views because of it, that's just a bonus. But that's not the goal of this podcast, to establish a whole company or business. So, thanks for listening. If you have listened this far, please like the video because it helps in the algorithm or whatever. And subscribe if you haven't already. If you're listening all the way to the end of this video, clearly there's something here that you like, so press the subscribe button. And I'll see you next Sunday.